Hey everybody, it's Ashida Onrae here with Success is a New Black, and we have actor and author Ro Brooks coming up in a minute. Hello everyone, happy Sunday, welcome back. Thanks again for joining us on this beautiful day. I'm your host, Ashida Onrae, and with me
is Tara Johnson. Caught me again.
I love it. And today we have a very special guest with us. We have actor and author Ro Brooks in the house.
Welcome. Thanks for having me.
I am so happy that you are here. And he is going to be discussing his book, How to Go From Extra to Actor.
Is that right? Is that in the shot? There you go.
There it is.
Bam.
There it is.
Bam. Face.
So before we get into the book, I would like to run down some credits. I would like to share with you what his journey has been like really quick, and then he's going to go into more detail on what his journey has been like personally. So Ro has been acting in Meteor Man, Homicide, Life on the Streets, The Corner, and several other shows that have been coming up from YouTube to television to movies, and these are considered uncredited roles that your publicist has mentioned. And then from there, you went on to Brooklyn Nine-Nine, you went on to Sons of Anarchy, you went on to Shameless, and now you are on The Haves and the Have-Nots by Tyler Perry on OWN. That is an awesome...
That's living it. That's living it. That's doing it.
That is wonderful.
Yeah.
So take us from the beginning on why you wanted to be an actor.
It's something in you, you know?
Yeah.
It's just something in you. You really can't explain it. I don't know. You know, as kids, you know, we watch television and we fall in love with particular shows, and in those shows, it's the characters. And it was kid actors for me, like not dating myself, but, you know, Arnold from Different Strokes, or the Andy Griffin Show, Lil Obie, like those little dudes. They really inspired me though, for real, because they could really act, and you know, it was almost like they said what they wanted to say. It didn't seem like it was scripted because they were so good at it at such a young age, and that really, you know, got my attention. So, you know, those kids like that really, you know, made me want to pursue acting. And once I found out that I really wanted it, I couldn't shake it. I couldn't go and do something else and say, okay, I'm gonna do this. It wouldn't work. It kept haunting me. Like, you gotta go and get it. You gotta go and get it. Yeah. So you'll know.
So I know you come from a musical background.
Everybody says that. I've done a lot of, I own music stores.
Okay,
so I guess that's my background. So, you know, I had a couple of music stores in Baltimore and Atlanta, what have you. And on top of that, you know, I used to dance and rap.
Yeah. That helped, like, would that also further your love for, like, being in front of the camera and acting?
Well, my before all that, my great-grandmother and my aunt, we used to go to their house, like, I guess every weekend or what have you. My mom used to take us over there, and they would be expecting us, you know, always to perform. And they would move this little coffee table out from the center of the floor and just move it out of the way. And help me move this and put this, because they gonna come up in here and, you know, and do whatever. So they would move the coffee table, because my father, he danced, and he used to break the table. He had this dance where he would, like, move his leg and throw his leg up over the table. And one day he, like, threw his leg down on the table by mistake, so I remember that. But I'm a little better with my legs, so I really can dance though, for real. But anyway, so we would dance. Yeah, I can groove, man. I can groove. I'm good with it. But so, you know, I'm like 5 or 6 or what have you, and all my sisters. I have 3 sisters older, and I'm the only boy, youngest kid in the whole nine. So. We would just perform, and, you know, they would, you know, give us money, 5 cents, probably, you know.
Yo, that's a lot.
It was a lot. You know, you 5, you know,
old.
you putting money in your pocket. I used to save my little nickels, but I used to tear them up. Every time I know we going over there, I'm practicing my little crazy dance, this one little step I had, and I would kill them.
Every time?
Yeah, and I think that's what really got, you know, me comfortable, because I'm still shy, believe it or not.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just, you know, able to bear it.
Okay.
And I know in order to get what you want, you got to shake some things. You ain't supposed to be scared of nothing. You know what I mean? God don't put fear in the Holy Spirit.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, that just don't work. So I just push forward in everything, regardless of you know, the fear or whatever it might be, you know, in front of me. And that's how I was brought up. So I'm able to do it, what I need to get, you know, where I want to go.
Now, speaking of that, your peoples. Speaking of your peoples.
Yeah, my peoples.
You grew up in Baltimore.
Yep.
So there's a story behind your childhood and your and up until today, your perseverance, and how you grew up in the hood, how you made it past the hood to where you are now. Can you take us through that journey a little bit?
What's the story? What?
You and I had a conversation.
What's the story?
What's the story?
I don't know. What's the story? I just know.
Okay, now we playing possum.
It's hard work, man.
We playing possum on here on YouTube.
It's hard work. It's hard work. Like I said, I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. I'm from Edmondson Avenue. Shout outs to Edmondson and Monroe all day.
Not Maryland, Merlin.
Maryland.
That's how you know.
Yeah, that's how you know I'm from Baltimore.
That's how you know.
I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. That's how we say it.
That's how you know.
And I'm from Edmondson Avenue, and it's a very, very crime-ridden neighborhood, you know, and you know, poverty and the whole nine, whatever, you know, adds to make a ghetto or an urban community what it is. Right. We had that, you know, and I lost a lot of buddies, man, a lot of homeboys, you know, to all sorts of violence, you know, drugs and just murder and all of that. So when you come from, and I even opened one of my businesses on that block.
That's nice.
You know?
Yeah.
And that, everybody thought I was crazy, you know what I mean, to want to bring something back to a neighborhood where you know it's a possibility, you know, it won't succeed, you know, or you'll be robbed. Or so I still did it. I still took it on, and they appreciated it. I got robbed. I got broken into, you know, by some of the same people that lived in the neighborhood. Right. But it's almost like, I never looked at it like when you're eating and you're from that neighborhood and then everybody else is starving.
Yeah.
It they almost take it like, you know, how is he eating and he's not? Even though I always shared and gave, you know, to families that came to the store, you know, because I knew everybody.
Right.
But sometimes some people want to get greedy and they want more than what you have to offer. So, you know, your store get broken into and you just shake it off and keep it moving.
Have to.
It's part of this acting business. If you can't, you know, you got to have tough skin, man, because they're going to tell you no a whole bunch of times. And you got to be able to handle those no's because that yes is going to come. And it's going to make all those no's make sense.
I like that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, so back to that, you know, the hood was it was a good place to start. I've seen a bunch, you know, and I use a lot of what I've seen in acting, you know, to help me go where I need to go with particular roles. So, you know, it's just, you know, just the drug addicts or you can name it, whatever. You see so many things, and even things that I might have gone through on my own, like personal things versus things that I've seen. It's still experiences, you know, that I could witness. And it helps. It's way better than just having a book and reading a book. You know, that's why I said background work is like, I think, the key, because you're involved versus just reading a book. You have to couple those things.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Did you do a lot of acting when you were in Baltimore, or did you only start?
No, I've been acting since '93. So Meteor Man was my first job. And that was with Robert Townsend. Shout out to Robert Townsend. Meteor Man, you gave me my first break, and I love you for that. So what, you want to hear the story of that? How I got that? Because I think that's what important. Aspiring actors really want to hear.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And shout out to Robert Townsend. You can come to the show and tell the story too.
Yeah, that's my dog, man. So like I said, I had always wanted to be an actor. I was scared. You know, knowledge is power, because when you don't know, that's when you're most afraid. So, you know, you have things going through your head, giving you reasons why not, why you shouldn't get involved. And it kind of overpowers, you know, the yes, and you're just like, oh man, what if this happened? This might happen. So you pull back. So I did that for a while. And then I just was like, you know what? I'm going all the way. What do I have to lose? You know, look where I am. Like, I got to come up for my family and things like that. So one day I heard on the radio, Robert Townsend was coming to Baltimore, and he had the movie Meteor Man, and they were looking for background actors. And back then, there was no 8x10 headshot. It was a Polaroid.
Oh.
Yeah. The regular.
Wow.
Those cameras and the picture comes, you know how that goes. So
Like
I'm only 21, but at the same
Right,
time,
right.
look at you,
Like
you
this.
already know.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm just
Shake
saying,
it
you
up,
gotta
yeah.
shake
Get the
it.
little
You
streaks
gotta
out that
shake it till
joint
it comes.
till it come in. Like, okay, yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, so that's what happened. So I had that. I had to send that picture in along with my phone number and information, whatever, on the flip side of it in the envelope and all. And I got a phone call like the following day. And, man, it blew my mind. I was like, this is my first time. I finally stepped out and said, I'm going to try this. And I got that phone call, and I was extremely happy, proud of myself at the same time, scared at the same time, but I was ready to go, you know? So I went on set, and first you get the phone calls from what they call you, and they say, wardrobe is going to call you with, you know, what it is you need to have, and so-and-so, somebody else is going to call you and tell you where you're going to, you know, meet at, you know, as far as dropping off the car or whatever. And, you know, you get all those, you know, different phone calls, and then you finally make it to set, and it's an amazing feeling.
It was everything you thought it would be?
And more, you know, because your mind can only go but so far. You know, especially if you don't have any knowledge of what it's like to be on set. So you're just coming up with stuff. But once you actually are there and you get to look around and take it all in, it's surreal. You get to see all the lights and the cameras, and you get to see the actors, all the A-listers and all the other talents, and just, you know, people coming and going, the PAs and, you know, writers and the director's chairs. You know, you're just soaking up everything that first day. You're just like, I'm really here. And it doesn't even matter that you're a background performer. You're where you need to be. That's how I always felt. And when I got there, I felt like I had already been there, or it was a spot waiting for me. You know, like, that's for me. I feel home. Like, wow. I knew that was all I wanted to do, is be an actor.
That was
Straight from that point. It was no turning back. I was like, this is it. I'm going to murder this. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are sensing it, but like sitting here across from him, I get the excitement from like what you must have experienced that one day, that first day on the set. Like as he's telling the story, you know what I mean? Like, right, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's amazing to see that. After all the years in business, you still get excited about telling that, like the story the first time you've been on set. Yeah. That's amazing. Did you go back to the neighborhood and tell everybody you're in the movie?
Did I go and tell everybody? I don't know if I went back to tell everybody, because the funny thing about that, not many of my friends were gangsters, you know? So it was only a couple of us like really interested in the arts. Mm-hmm. Everybody else was like, yo, I'm gonna go over here and do this. I said, well, I'm gonna go and play some ball or something, you know? So, you know, I just had different calibers of friends, you know what I mean? But I guess I did, you know, go back. But what I did learn was, you don't say that. You don't tell people, yo, I'm going to be on this, I'm going to be on that. Because when it comes out, your scene could be cut. So you really don't, you know what I mean? But I think I did tell them, like, yo, I just did the Media Man, da-da-da-da, or what have you. So they get excited for you, you know?
That's good.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that in the book. He says that in the book. Don't go around telling everybody.
Yeah.
Because your stuff might be on the floor.
Yeah, because when they go to cut and do their editing, some of the best work is on the floor.
Yep, happens every time.
You be like, hey, my scene right here. Oh, man, they cut my scene. Oh, but nobody watching. Bro, I saw your elbow, son. Yeah. That was mine with the little ass on it. Yeah, that was me, dog. That was me.
I knew that was my ass.
Yeah, that was me, dog. Yeah. So
for our viewers, and based on the book, you know, you talk about how to get started. Mm-hmm. What is your suggestion on how to get started? So you become like how to become an extra. Take us through that process.
Well, that's what it is. The extra work. Central Casting is out here in California. They also have one on the East Coast. But that's your starting point. I believe to be a great actor, you have to start from the bottom. You have to have the knowledge. Like I said, you get a lot of knowledge within the book, but to actually live inside that situation, while you're reading the book, you can grab a situation a lot better than reading the book and then later on getting on set. It's almost like if you can make them happen at the same time. It's almost like driving. Like when you're going to take a permit test, that's one thing. But when you're behind the wheel driving the actual automobile, you know how it is to turn the corner or when to turn the corner. It's almost innate. It's like, it's a red light. You can make a right turn on red. And you can feel yourself and know, I've done this because I'm driving this car, versus just sitting there filling out the paperwork. It's a different feeling when you're on set.
Right.
And you probably won't really get it until you're on set and you read my book.
Right.
And you read the book.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And acting classes coupled with those things, I think it all those things coupled together.
And that's an important point that you just mentioned is acting class. Because I've been on sets. I've been on many sets as as an extra. And they feel as if, okay, well, you know what, I've done extra work, but you have to practice. You have to exercise that muscle of memory, that muscle of getting into character, that muscle of getting into multiple characters, because as you can see from your resume, you're in multiple shows. So you have to learn how to switch from being to this character to being the next character and so on. So that's the next step that you have to do as well, is to go and take acting classes. And they help you exercise that muscle. Right. And a lot of people are like, no, I can do it. I can memorize lines and that's it. No, because that's not it. You got to do more.
Let me be honest with you.
Yeah.
I never really took acting classes. Right? And I'm not saying like, oh, how you going to tell us to take acting classes and you didn't take them? Where I'm from, I believe everybody inside, we're actors. Whether we act our way out of getting a parking ticket, to giving the teacher a reason why we don't have our homework, we're actors, period. It's just tapping into it. Now, that's what acting class is for. I believe tapping into it. For me, acting class was, I believe I had already tapped into my acting ability, but I thought I needed to go and learn what it was to do an audition. To me, that was like the biggest thing, because to me, the audition is the job.
Right.
When you book the job, it's a lot easier than what the audition process is.
True.
Because in an audition, you're more nervous because you're in a competition. Even though you're in the room alone, 30 guys in the hallway for the same role. So you know they're there. But after you book the job, all you have to do is repeat the audition. And if you mess up, then they cut and they let you do it again. Yeah. But you have the job. And in audition, you only have so many chances to mess up. And then we on to the next. So, auditioning is everything. Once you learn how to audition well, getting on set is going to be a breeze.
So how do you learn how to audition well? Is that just class, taking classes?
It's being...
Because sometimes your nerves get the best of you, and then you're in there and you know your lines, and then you're just, you freeze.
That happens. It still happens. I still get, jitters, at times. Sometimes I'm smooth and cool with this. The other times it's like, why is this coming back? I've been doing this for 20-something years. Like, this is crazy. But it happens, and I believe the more you audition, the more comfortable you'll get. The more you audition. It's all about, just being comfortable with yourself. You have to have that confidence, and that carries far. You could be a runner-up. Let's not say a runner-up. It could be boiled down to you and another guy. And at the end of the day, they're going to look to see who was more confident. They'll look at that and say, okay, this guy seemed like he was really more sure of what he was saying, or because they feel it when you come in the room. If you go into that room and you're like this,
jittery, unsure of yourself.
They see that. And then when you deliver, it's like a singer who can really sing, but when she or he sings in front of someone, you hear squeaky, their voice isn't where it's supposed to be. That's not a great performance to a onlooker. It's like, I didn't pay for this. I want to hear what I heard on that record.
Right.
Nobody was in the studio with you. when you're acting, it should be just that clean. It should be just that clean. Right. You know, the words should feel like you're just looking out of your window and you're seeing an actual real scene happen, and you believe it because it's really happening. That's what acting should be like.
In the audition process. Yeah. And then also when you book the job as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well,
absolutely.
When you audition, the casting director should feel, because first of all, you have to know, which I think most people don't know. Most people go into the audition room trying to give the auditioner or the casting director what they think she or he wants, when you should go in giving them what you think they should have.
And by that, you mean making your acting choice.
Making your acting choice, creating the character for the way that you see that character. You should be able to say, these are the lines, this is what I see, this is a backstory that I put or I gave my character. He's from the hood, he's 5'10", he's 190 pounds, he's his mom is by herself, dad passed away from cancer, he has 2 small sisters, he has a dog named Toby, yada, yada, yada. All of that, you build that up. He speaks with the so-and-so slur, whatever he got, you know, a little bit of swag to him. You know, you add all this, and then you bring it out and say, this is what I want her to have. Let me see what she thinks.
So that actually the casting director is not only looking in your confidence, but the casting director is also looking in the confidence of your choice.
Yes. Yeah, okay. Of course. Confidence will kill you if you don't have it. Because remember, in order to get a call back, that casting director has to take your tape and say, okay, I think this guy was good. I'm going to take this and let him be seen by the big guy. You know, if not, then you won't get a call back. So you have to give her or him a reason to put you in that next pile, that callback pile, for the director to see you or the producer. If not, and has a lot to do with confidence, because they want to feel like, if my name is on the line, this is what the casting director says. What I look like passing him over to this guy, selling this guy to the director, and then he's no good. What is that going to say about me as the casting director? So they have to be very careful in their choices.
Now I want to go back to your book and talk about representation. To get into the audition, to be able to audition for the casting director. What's your advice? Because one of my friends is an actress, and that's one of the hardest parts for her is finding representation. What advice would you have?
Does she have a reel?
She has a reel, she has a website, and it's just hard to get the foot in the door to find representation. Now, I know you said don't start at the top.
No. No.
Don't start at the top.
That's embarrassing. Yeah. I mean, it is, because, you know, you're already looking for confidence.
Right.
So if you're going to come into the game and you're going to try to sign with William Morris, come on now. You should start from, first of all, they won't even see you.
True.
The large agencies won't even see you. They don't take solicited, unsolicited material. So that's a no-brainer. Middle class or second tier or what have you, most of them won't even see you. Most times it's about getting a referral, you know? So if you can get a referral from a reputable casting director, a reputable actor, somebody that's already in the game, that's already connected, and they say, I want you at William Morris to see this person, they'll see you, but that doesn't guarantee you the job, right? Okay, so going back, when you first start, you need to build a reel, because without a reel, no one knows what you can do. You can't just talk to somebody and say, I'm badder than Denzel, da, da, da. All right, where's your reel? What's the reel? Like, you know, right. I don't have one. You can't do that. So in order to get one, you have to find out where student films are being shot, independent films, you know, in your local community, in your neighborhood. You know, those are, I think, the earliest stages. Like I said, the independent films, the student films. Every city has a college that has like a theatrical branch to it or what have you, and they have equipment. And the equipment is mostly free for the students, and then a lot of students that go to these schools, they have to they have to use this equipment to take like a test or what have you, and they are allowed to hire or just get some people out from outside the school to shoot their project.
Right.
Okay. So when that happens, I mean, all you have to do, you have to get involved, like find out through the radio stations because they know everything, the newspapers, online, what's happening in my city, and they'll say what's going on. So and so's coming to town. They're going to shoot this. Same thing I did. Find out about some background work, submit your stuff. But you need, even though background work isn't good for footage, but it's still a part of who you are. Like the first thing you do as a background performer or what have you, that's your first day of being an actor. So that's everybody has to have a starting date.
Right.
That'll be your starting date. So from there, that's when you start to progress and start adding on to whatever it is and wherever you started. So those things, you need those. Your girlfriend, what kind of actor is she?
I would say more drama.
She's drama. Okay. So even with that, I love drama. That's my favorite genre. But you need to be multifaceted. You got to throw a lot of drama scene in there, throw like a comedy scene in there, throw, just a little bit of everything that you can
into the real.
Yeah, even if you don't have like the student film and things like that, you could record yourself doing a monologue. Go online and get a monologue and, do several of those. Or if you are lucky enough to get some lines on the independent film and maybe more than one scene. Say, for instance, you have you're in a movie where you're a boyfriend and you're, an abusive boyfriend or what have you. You may have some scenes where you're this sweet guy, and then later on you may have that abusive thing going on. Those are two different scenes out of the same movie you can use to show two different perspectives.
Oh, so your range.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
I can go from.
Diversity.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And that's what you need to show. You need to show where your range lies, what you can do. That's why I said comedy. That switches it up. That's a whole nother range. Okay, he can make us laugh. He has perfect comedic timing. Okay, the drama, I believe him. I'm in tears a little bit over here. Like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I see, he got a little flair for the ladies. Like, they smiling. I can see we can do something with this guy. So those are the things I think you need when searching for and a manager or an agent. And I believe management probably would be the first person to look for.
Not an agent.
Yeah, agents, you have to be licensed to be an agent. Anybody can be a manager, So you can get a manager that really believes in you and say, you know what, I'm going to be your manager. Just like a homeboy. Say, yo, I believe in you. I don't know what I'm doing much, but I know you got talent. And whatever I can do, I'm going to help,
Yeah.
And that's the dude who'll get behind you and say, okay, I'm going to be your manager. And he'll learn along the way, but at the same time, you have some help,
Okay.
So you take those things and you build on them, And, from that point, you can go ahead and start submitting to other management to help that manager. And then to small boutique companies in regards to the agencies and the management. Start at the very bottom, because if you try to get at the top without, or just in the middle or anywhere without the bottom, you could get lost in the shuffle because of so many people who are already recognized and proven. So it's like, why go there when I can get it's almost like signing with the basketball team that has a bunch of stars and you real nice, but you're not gonna get no time on the court.
Right.
Versus going
You
to
little
a
fish
bum
in the
team.
big pond
Yeah.
And you
instead
the
of being the
beast.
big fish in the little pond.
Yeah.
Right.
So go to a small company, get your shine on. They'll see you more because they have less clients. They have less people that fit your demographics. You know what I mean? Your whole profile. So you're gonna go out more. And that's what you do. You build yourself there, and then you take your resume or whatever to the next level.
Yeah.
And they'll see, okay, he's done this, okay, we'll see him. And that's when you start moving up into your higher, levels of agencies and management.
I mean, the way you have it in the book and the way you talk about it, it's very systematic. And one of my favorite lines in the book is an intro when you talk about it being show business. So always handle your business before the show.
Get that money.
Right. When did it... That
gotta
too.
Take care of that paper.
Gotta take that paper. Yeah. When did it click for you that this was, yes, your passion and what you wanted to do, but this is a business to be handled like that on a daily basis? Like, this is my business.
Well, I'm an entrepreneur first, so I've always known that it was a business. I mean, when you watch MTV Cribs and things like that, you know, actors get paid a lot of money.
Yes, they do.
They get paid a lot of money to take care of an entire family and more, you know. And everybody can be successful. But if you don't have the right team watching you, because things get crazy, you know, like I'm busy. I stay busy. I try to make sure I stay busy. But while I'm busy, things are coming in. Checks are coming in.
Right.
And sometimes you might not feel like you have the time to look at all those things because you're so caught up in all your other business.
Making some more paper.
So if you can't control over this side, you have to someone that you trust to say, okay, watch that.
Right.
You know, let me know what it looked like. Did this check come in, or how much am I, going to get for, whatever. You just need to have that support. You need that team because they will. I mean, come on. If you don't watch your money, you just don't watch your money.
Somebody else will.
That's right.
And that is true. That is one of
the
important things that I noticed about actors and actresses that do not do that because they leave it in the business manager's hand. But the one thing that I learned that is so important that Oprah taught us is that no matter how busy you are, no matter what you have going on in your life, you absolutely have to write your own checks.
Sign
and
check
sign
yourself.
down checks.
You gotta know your business.
You gotta
man.
know your business.
You gotta
Absolutely.
know it.
You can't just be so blinded and just go and okay, I'm gonna learn my lines. I'm just traveling. I'm doing everything. You have to be able to incorporate that.
That's just an actor.
Yeah.
That's an actor versus an artist.
I like that. I like that.
It's a difference. It's really a difference.
That.
Yeah, actors just act. When you're a business person, when you're an artist, you handle your business. You handle your business, you perform, you do all those things. But you have to watch your money. So with that being said, it's like when you're watching your money, before you let someone else partake in watching your money, you have to know everything about the business before you give it to somebody else. It's your business. This is your puppy. This is your baby.
Right.
You have to know it, because if you don't know it and give it to somebody else, you're going to always get taken advantage of because you don't even know your business.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
You have to know your business first. Say, okay, so when I want to go back and check my own records, I know what to look for because I trained you, basically. You know what I mean?
Basically.
So I know my stuff. Okay, so where's this? Who spent $700? Where'd this go? Oh, he saw that. Oh, that was on. You know what I mean? But you have to know your business.
And by knowing the business, that means the agent gets 10%, the lawyer gets 5%. Is that what you mean by knowing the business?
It's
the
all
publicist, and when you grow, when you start to grow, you have to learn the business of people get a certain cut.
Yeah, it's a certain percentage that everybody gets.
Yeah.
Publicists mostly get paid a salary, basically. Well, I can say a salary. They don't work real publicists or main, publicists. They don't work on like in if you get paid, then I get paid. They don't do that because they provide a service. So if they provide a service and say, okay, you tell your publicist, I want to get on or in this particular magazine. Their job is to do all they can to get you in that magazine. But if they're unsuccessful, that's not their fault. They did what they were supposed to do, so they still should be paid.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So they have to get paid. If they say my fee is $2,000 a month, that's what their fee is, if you're in a magazine or not, as long as they do their job. Now, managers, they get from 10 to 20%.
Managers get 20%?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Agents get like 10%.
That's a lot.
Read the contract before you sign
That's
it.
a lot.
Yeah.
20%.
Yeah, managers go hard. Yeah, managers go hard. I mean, you know, because they're the closest person to you for the most part.
Yeah.
And I still don't. I mean, agents. You can have, you know, you can build a great relationship with the agent, but most managers are there to mold you and help build your brand and your style and you have different kinds of managers, talent managers, you have business managers, you have all these different kind of managers, so they play a particular role. Agents mostly submit you for work and you get the audition, you go to the audition. That's really what an agent does, so 10% is really good, but yeah, managers, they want 15, at least from 10 to 20%.
That is hard. They are going hard.
They go hard.
I had to change my
and
profession.
They get it.
I know, right?
But you need them.
Yeah.
You need managers. You need agents. You don't need them all at the same time. You don't need them all at the very beginning. You just need one, and then you can build. Publicists, you can wait for a while before you get a publicist. An attorney, you don't need to have one on, just like in your pocket. You can, get one and pay for them as needed, but you don't have to have one on retainer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But those contracts aren't that big from the beginning for most of us. So, most of them are basic contracts. Say you get this money, for doing this job, sign right here. Several pages, but nothing really, to set you up or anything like that. Because these are SAG jobs. Make sure they SAG. Make sure they union jobs you're getting involved in. All these signatory companies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you did it, like, you really talk about that and explain that in the book really well about union and non-union and signatories and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
really good information.
I made it small. I made it into a handbook. So, I didn't want to fill it up with a whole lot of fluff. I just wanted to go straight to the point on everything. Like, this is what you need. This is what you have to do. This is how you be a successful extra. This is how you go from extra to actor. And it's all about, like I said, being tardy. They look at all of that.
Right.
When you're a background actor, the ADs, they serious. I give them so much respect because their memories are amazing. They remember. It could be 20 of you guys coming in at the same time, and you're being introduced to the ADs, and they'll remember everybody's name. I don't understand it, but they do. So just knowing that should let you know that you're being watched. Be on your P's and Q's, because you never know when they might call you up to get bumped. The director might be like, who's that guy? Who's that girl? I like what they're doing. Bring them over. I got some lines for them.
Nice.
That
You
happens.
gotta be ready to handle your business at any given time.
If you're ready, you ain't never got to get ready.
How about
Stay ready. I'm
That's
telling
true.
you, it could happen just like that. The Tyler Perry job, and I've done a bunch of things prior to Tyler Perry, but I just like to use that situation on how I booked it. Can I get into that a little bit? Oh, man. I auditioned for the haves and the have-nots. One morning, it was maybe like 11 o'clock. Prior to that, normally when you get an audition, it's for the next day. This audition, I got the same day, and I went in an hour later. And that was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, that was crazy because I wasn't ready.
Yeah, talk about
like,
staying ready.
What? What? When is this? It was like, yeah, it's 11 o'clock, but it's 10 o'clock. Like, yeah, you need to get ready. So I'm like, oh my goodness, so I'm rushing, and then it's down on Wilshire where I have to go. So I'm trying to rush to print the papers out, my sides, which are pages from the script. Those are sides. So you print those out. Never really got a chance to study them. Trying to find out who my character is, what I need to wear, all in this time frame, and still have to get to Wilshire. So I'm like, then I got to find somewhere to park. I know you already know.
Oh, my gosh.
So it's really crazy. So my wife, thank God for her, she says, I'm going to go with you, and you drive, and I'll read your lines with you while you drive, and then you can run up, and I'll, keep the truck. I was like, great.
Big ups to great wives. There you
No,
go.
no.
There I'm saying.
Yes.
Real, that's their support, man. I don't know what I'd do without it, dude. I'm so serious, man. So we finally make it down there. I would say about 10:57. Like for real, it was about that time. So I'm driving, she's saying her lines, she's saying my lines, and then I'm saying my lines back, and I'm just trying to get what I can get in before I get to the audition. Then I'm auditioning for a grandfather, right?
Okay.
So I'm like, you watch the show?
I've seen a couple episodes.
Okay. All right. What about you?
I've seen a couple episodes.
Okay.
But I'm going to watch all of them on demand now.
Okay. All right.
Did you see that book?
These are good friends of mine right now. A couple episodes don't even do it, but it's all right. Okay. Next time I come back in this joint. What? All right. Success is the new what? No. But check it out. So I get there, run upstairs. I try to sit down and study, because I really didn't have what I needed. At least I didn't think. So I'm running upstairs, and I get into the hallway where I'm waiting after I sign in. And as soon as I sign in, they call me. So that's another thing that I tell actors. Don't sign your name on the list in the hallway when you get an audition until you're ready.
Oh, that's a good point.
Because if you sign, prematurely and they call you, it's time to go in. Or you could also say, do you mind, you come back to get me or put me last or what have you. You can ask that, but to prevent that, don't sign the list until you're ready to go into the room. So, okay, so I go into the room and I do my audition. I think I did like two takes on it, what have you. And I didn't think anything of it because I'm like, I'm a young dude, a grandfather. Come on, I'm gonna come and audition because it's Tyler, and the script read really well. So I said, I'm gonna do it, but I don't see me getting it. So I let it go. And normally you'll hear from your agent or your manager or whoever within a day or two if you booked the role or if you got a call back or anything positive. You really don't get calls back from anybody if you didn't book. You know what I mean? They don't call you and say, sorry, we didn't.
Right, we didn't give you.
We liked you, but we didn't hire you. You don't get that call. If you don't hear anything, you already know you didn't get it. So I say a week passed. I'm at lunch with one of my business partners, and my manager calls me, and he's like hysterical on the phone, like in a good way. And I'm like, what? What's up? He was like, you gotta go to Atlanta. Tyler Perry just called and said he wants you in Atlanta. I was like, what? For what? I forgot all about it. Because we audition so much.
You say let go.
Yeah, you have to because we audition so much, and it's like you have to get your mind ready for the next role to get lost into that character. You just can't hold it. So you let it go. And like I said, it was a whole week. I had, 2 days is gone. This is a whole week. So I knew they had already casted somebody. So he's going on and on. Yeah, Tyler wants to see you in Atlanta. Da, da, da. I said, all right, so when? When does he want to see me? Tonight. I was like, man, you kidding. You gotta stop playing. He want to see me tonight. He was like, yes, you on the red eye tonight. And I was like, man, please tell me you are joking. Bro, I'm not lying. Look, you're gonna pack. He says for you to pack for 3 weeks. If you book, you shoot immediately the same day. If you don't, you're on the next thing smoking with your 3 weeks of clothing. I was like, all right, cool. I ain't gonna go into all the trouble. When I tell you Satan is real,
right?
But he has to always be reminded that he's been defeated.
How about that?
Oh man, he did everything in the book to stop me from getting to the airport.
Wow.
I'm serious. From a blowout to, I went through so much getting to the airport. So much. Finally made it though. Got to Atlanta. Things were still crazy at the hotel in Atlanta. I'm like, this boy is working. That's how, but I had so much peace over me, I can't even explain that it was no nervousness. I calmed my family down. I was like, look, let's just do this. It's whatever. Don't even worry about it. I had no feeling of anxiety. I just felt really good about everything. So I finally get to Tyler. I had a bunch of stuff already that I had to perform for him. Before I see him, they come and give us another script of a whole nother set of dialogue to learn. right before that. So I'm like, wow, y'all serious about that. So they gave us some more stuff. It's like me and 5 other guys that flew out. So when I see Tyler, finally get to see him later that day, and I hadn't gotten any sleep either. None of us did. So I see Tyler all the way down this long corridor, just standing there. So as I walk up, I get to him and I say, I do like this. I like do my head to Tyler like that. And he says, go to the hallway, right? Just get out to the hallway and sit outside the hallway right
From
there.
a nod?
Yeah. Because I was like speaking, but he didn't. I mean, he was about his business. He was just serious. Like, he was working like, okay, let's go down the hall and have a seat outside on one of those benches or whatever. I was like, okay. All right. I was like, oh, boy. Oh, I'm here now. Tyler's a great guy. Let me tell you, man. Like, Tyler's a really great guy, man. He does a lot for us, man. For blacks in general, big ups. He does a lot for us, man. I love him for that. And he's a great inspiration. Mm-hmm. So, on to the story. So, I'm in the hallway waiting, they finally call me in. I'm auditioning with, one of the stars of the show. And we get into it. Tyler comes and say, I'm seated here. Yeah, I'm seated this way, right here. Tyler maybe where at your distance, but right in front of me. And he's sitting here like this.
That close? Just like
he's
staring
like
at you?
Right there, yeah. Maybe a little further. Maybe I'm back at the wall, maybe, but it's a really close proximity. We just sitting there. And he says, are you ready? And I was like, yeah, I'm ready. So me and her, we started going in. We just got it in. And I'm talking, this is Crystal Fox, who's sitting next to me, Hannah on the show. So we just get it going. And after I'm done, he says, all right, thank you. And I leave, So as I'm leaving, they say, wait in the hallway. So I was like, okay. So I go wait in the hallway. And I'm wondering, why has he got me waiting in the hallway? Because I don't see no other guys. I see one other guy in the hallway, but I don't see the rest of the guys that went in before me. So then Tyler comes out, and I'm standing closest to him. So he extends his hand to me, and he says, great audition. I was like, thank you, appreciate it. And then he left me, and as he's leaving me, my man, Mark, he peeps out the door, and he says, and I was like,
he waves you over
there. He called me into he said, come into the room. So I go into the room, and he just started talking to me, telling me things about the road. And he says, well, look, we want to offer you the job.
Nice.
Man, I almost went through the roof. Well, we have to talk to your agent and whatever. I was like, look, man, we want this. Right. You know what I mean? I'm speaking for my agent.
Let me speak for them.
Yeah, right. We good. Let's go. You know what I mean? So that's how it all happened, man. And that went from him telling me that I would possibly be in 4 episodes to me going from that room to my room, having 6 scripts in my room, and then still here today, and we're on season 5.
How about
nice. That's awesome. Congratulations. Thank you so much for sharing
all
that.
The time.
That's
an amazing
That is amazing.
Yeah.
That is so amazing.
So it happens. It can happen.
Yeah.
And, just to let everybody know, when you hear these stories and you were like, man, that don't really happen, it really happens. Mm-hmm. It really happens. That's why you have to be ready.
Yeah. Gotta be ready.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you
That is
so
so
much.
amazing.
Ro, we have to wrap up soon, but I want to touch and let the audience know, where can they find your book?
You can find my book at robrooks.com. That's www.robrooks.com. Out here in LA, we also have it at Isawan Books. Yeah. And Barnes & Noble and Amazon also have my ebook.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Nice.
And Twitter, you are Jerome
Ro Brooks on Twitter, Ro Brooks on Facebook, and Ro Brooks _ on Instagram.
Nice. Please follow him on Instagram, Twitter. Be inspired, be encouraged.
Yeah.
And, always know that do not give up. your opportunity is there.
That's
you
right.
heard a great story on how he got on the have and have nots with Tyler Perry. It's intense.
Yeah.
Because I knew I would be like,
I was like, what?
And that's the short version.
That's the short
I was
version.
like, what? What is that?
I know.
And what happened then?
Yeah.
Thanks so much for tuning in.
Get this
with us.
book.
Yes, get
And my
the book.
book signing. Can I talk about that really quick?
Yes.
Yeah, if you're in Baltimore on November 5th, come on out to, what is it? Ena Pratt Library. That's on,
Library.
yeah,
Love it.
Ena Pratt, y'all better cut it out.
Sorry.
Ena Pratt Library in Baltimore. I think it's 1531 West North Avenue. It's from 2 to 4. Come on out, see your boy, get a book, get it signed, take a picture. You know what I mean? Holla at your boy.
I'm Southern. It's library. To
Right,
me.
library.
It's library.
Library.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for tuning in to Sex is the New Black. I'm your host, Ashida Onrae.
I'm Tara Johnson.
And you can find me at Ashida Onrae on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook.
You can find me at Twitter and Instagram. Oh, and you can find me on Facebook at Tara Johnson, but you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at TJ Wagging Her Tail.
Thanks so much, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
From executives Kevin Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in. The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.